Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of We Watch Shudder. My name is Michelle, and who's here with me?
It's
It's JD.
JD.
It's
Yeah,
always
that's me,
JD,
JD.
and it's
Yep.
always me, Michelle. It's always us. Are you disappointed?
Yo-ho,
Well, you shouldn't be.
yo-ho.
It's very predictable. What's not predictable is that we are putting out an episode every day this month. I mean, it's kind of predictable because we do it every year. But
You
at
said
the same
doo-doo.
time, I did indeed. At the same time, you know what? That's wow, so honorable of us. We're great people to do this for you as a little gift. In today's gift, we I'm gonna say we, even though this was entirely JD's idea. I almost said fault. We are going back in time where every other movie, one is adult oriented, but not porn. I my things got vetoed. And then
R like rated R type horror movies.
rated R. And then family friendly content. So today is a family friendly day. We will see if we like this movie more than JD loved Hubie Halloween. Go back and check that one out. That's
I will.
that's going down in the history books. The House
Oh.
with the Clock in its Walls. That's what we watched. Right, JD?
The house, yes, The House with the Clock in Its Walls from
Yeah.
2018. Written by Eric Kripke, who you may know as the guy who created Supernatural, and directed by Eli Roth. We'll talk about that at some point. Starring Jack
Yeah.
Black and Cate Blanchett, and then some kid actors whose names I didn't know, and it's Owen Vaccaro. I don't know. Oh yeah, Renee Elise Goldsberry is in this. We're gonna talk
Oh
about
yeah, she
that.
is.
Oh yeah. Oh, also Lorenza Izzo is in this. Is she still married to Eli Roth? I don't remember. She was in his movie Green Inferno, and he did really terrible things to her in that movie. And then they got
Ooh,
married, and that's a whole thing.
this is my favorite part of every episode where we just read every IMDb credit. So everyone buckle up. Christian Calloway played as it oh, I picked the one demon name that I can't pronounce. Dylan Gage was Sweet Shop Boy. Jackson T. Giles the fourth was student. Oh, Eli Roth was actually in this as Comrade
M-
Ivan.
Michelle, do you not know
Okay.
who Renee Elise Goldsberry is?
No, of course I do. I'm just waiting to talk about her until the spoiler section.
Kyle
Of course
MacLachlan
I
is in
do.
this movie, Michelle. I was really, frankly, impressed by the casting. Anyway, that's what we're talking about. House of the Clock and its Walls builds up to a whole scenario taking place on Halloween for all of the spooky energy generated at that time. Sort of a loose Halloween association, but it's there. Uh, I am going to give you a quick summary here of the film. This is hacked together from a couple of different sentences on Wikipedia. Louis Barnevelt is sent to live with his uncle Jonathan in a creaky old house and soon learns that it was previously inhabited by a villainous warlock. That's a boy witch. The House with a Clock in Its Walls, 2018. Michelle,
Yeah,
spoiler free thoughts, please.
absolutely. Uh, First off, it's spoiler free, but I am going to tell you my biggest complaint about this movie. And that is that nobody understands how capitalization in titles are supposed to work. Because IMDb has with lowercase, even though it is a four-letter word and therefore it should always be capitalized in a title. And that's upsetting. But then when I went to look and see what the official name is, I saw one that had with capitalized and in lowercase, and I was so happy, except A, the letter A, which is an article, was also capitalized. These fucking people, it's the biggest crime that this movie commits, is that nobody understands how to capitalize in titles. And I'm only very picky about it because I've had to learn how to do it properly for my job. And now it's something that I can't unsee. With is always capitalized, people. It's a four-letter word. It doesn't count as a three-letter article. Come on. Anyway, that said, I did not know who wrote or directed this. Um And I kind of like that this is now like one of those Pepsi versus Coke blind taste tests that people were obsessed with in like the early 2000s, where they'd have you drink one of the sodas and be like, whoa, do you still prefer Pepsi? Do you still prefer Coke? Even though you can't see the label. I could not see the label, and yet I still enjoyed this. Eli Roth, how do you just know who I am? And Eric Kripke, oh my god, I didn't even know that that was the person in charge of both The Boys and Supernatural. Of course I'm going to like this. Of course, it makes absolute sense. This is really, really fun for the entire family, and I did not think that I would find a family-friendly movie to be so fantastic. A big part of it is that Jack Black and Cate Blanchett are just wonderful. They're such good people. I love them. I love them so much. Who would have ever thought that one half of Tenacious D would go on to make content for children? I would not have ever expected that. This guy's now Bowser. Who the fuck would have predicted that 10 years ago? You don't always have to fuck her heart sometimes. In fact, that's not right to do. Bowser said that? Are you kidding me? Love that though. I love that children now also get to enjoy Jack Black and how delightful he is. He's also Goosebumps. Are you kidding me? Um, the effects are great. The story is great. It's unique without being complicated. I just really, really was surprised to enjoy this. And now that I see who was involved, man, I'm so glad that I don't just like Hostel and that I'm kind of fucked up. I do like his other content. Eli Roth is just great. 4.5 out of 5.
4.5 out of 5 for The House with a Clock in Its Walls from my friend Michelle.
Yeah.
Would you like to know how I feel about this movie, Michelle? First of all, that was a very detailed spoiler-free thoughts section. I really enjoyed your breakdown there. Not your psychological breakdown,
I was
your
going to say my
breakdown
mental
of your
breakdown.
spoiler-free thoughts. No, absolutely
Yeah.
not. I mean, I do enjoy that when it happens, but you know.
I make sure that all my breakdowns are very entertaining for other people, and that's why I used to do stand-up comedy. I had many mental breakdowns where I went, the only thing that will make it so I don't kill myself today is by going to an open mic and making other people hear my problems and hearing them laugh, and it will minimize the distress that I'm in. But yes, JD, to answer your question, I would like to hear your spoiler-free thoughts. What are your spoiler-free thoughts?
All right, so here's where I want to start my spoiler-free thoughts is the with in this title should absolutely not be capitalized because I don't give a damn about no APA, AMA, AP, or New York Times style guidelines. If it ain't the Chicago Manual of Style, it can get fucked. So I am going to say that there is nothing wrong with. You will notice that both IMDb and Wikipedia do not
Are
capitalize
wrong.
the with.
It's crazy
Chicago
that they're both
Manual of
wrong.
Style. If it isn't Chicago Manual of Style, it doesn't matter. Anyway, now that we got that argument out of the way, and I was right, oh, you guys just see the look on Michelle's face right now. This might be the most genuinely furious she's ever been with me.
I it drives me fucking crazy every time I see the title, and it will not be lowercase on our website as long as I have free reign for that. Because every time I go to IMDb, I get so mad. It's like seeing a typo, like such a drastic typo on the official. Are you kidding me? The Internet Movie
you,
Database gets it wrong.
you,
How dare they?
Michelle, you never capitalize a preposition
You
ever.
do with APA style guidelines, as you
Yeah, well,
said.
APA style guidelines can get fucked. Chicago Manual of Style,
APA is
that's where
what
it's at.
that's what I was taught. We didn't learn the
Well,
other
you were
ones. We
taught
only
wrong,
were taught
Michelle.
APA.
You were taught
I know
wrong.
that because of how little I know about geography and history. I know I was taught wrong on many subjects. Thank you,
I
rural Minnesota high school.
I I
Well,
love that this is what this episode of the podcast has turned into is
it's
an argument
driving me nuts.
over
Okay, yeah,
which formatting style to use.
yeah.
That's
It.
fantastic.
Ugh,
Anyway,
okay.
spoiler.
Well,
Now I will give you my spoiler-free thoughts on the House
yeah.
of the Clock and its walls. This is a very much a family-friendly movie. I don't know that it's something that I would ever watch again, but it was a good time. Jack Black and Cate Blanchett have incredible chemistry because they're both very talented people, and they play off each other really, really well. Kyle MacLachlan is great. Renee Elise Goldsberry is in this movie as the only black person, and that's also the villain. We're going to talk about that. But other than that, I mostly I did enjoy this. I would say I would come down on like a 3.5 skulls on this
Nice. 3.5 skulls gives it an average of 4 skulls with my
for sure.
4.5.
I
Nice.
can live with that.
Okay, bye everyone. Have a good day. Okay,
Chicago
bye.
Manual of Style.
Ugh. Okay. Well, we'll get to the spoiler
Did you
section
just
now.
Chicago Manual of Style?
I'm just not commenting on the Chicago Manual of Style because APA is the only thing I was taught. They told us that everything else was
Oh,
outdated. It's
guys,
like
hit us up
people, hang
on.
on, JD, we need to find common ground in order to continue this episode. Can we agree that there should not be two spaces in between sentences when you're typing?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
that's
I
all I need.
understand.
I had to pick something divisive, but fuck off if you
No,
put
I
two
I
sentence
I
spaces.
will come with the caveat that yes, at one time
Of
that was
course.
very much a standard, but no, it's completely unnecessary. I think at this
I have
point.
I have a young coworker, not an older coworker where this is just how they've been doing it and it makes sense and I forgive them. I'm still going to control F and replace all the double spaces with a single space when they send me things for proofreading. But I have a young coworker who does it, and now I'm scared it's considered a retro thing and it's going to come back and not over my dead body. It's not. No, I will slap you down every time. No, no double spaces. There's a reason and it's dead now. Okay. Know what else is dead? One of the characters in this movie. Should we talk about it?
Yeah, we should probably get to the spoiler section of this. If you want to see the
Yeah.
movie before we talk about it in depth, you can go do that now. And now we're gonna have spoilers. Side note, by the way, Michelle, the reason I'm kind of jumbled right now is because I also confirmed that our preferred manuals of style also agree. One space. Chicago Manual of
Good.
Style, one space
Yeah.
at the end of a sentence. The APA used to recommend two spaces, but they updated their guidelines in 2019. Nobody wants two spaces at the end of a sentence anymore.
We
Knock
weren't
it
even
off.
taught double spaces growing up because it was only necessary for like the typewriter style or whatever.
Well,
It
yeah,
wasn't
I was
necessary.
gonna say
Yeah.
it's probably because you were not alive much of the '80s. I definitely came up in a time when they still told us we had to put like to the extent that like if there didn't seem to be visibly enough space between the end of a sentence and the start of a new one on a typed paper, they would take points off. It was ridiculous. Anyway, this is
One
the school
more
therapy
English
portion of the
comment.
show.
I got to get this off my chest. When I returned back to college to get my second degree, my second associates, I'm working towards my first bachelor's. I'm doing it wrong. I know. I don't care. But when I went back to school to get my second associates, I had a perfect 4.0 GPA and was very, very proud of that because it's
Braggart.
college. I know. I was so proud of myself for being able to do that and be in school full time, especially given that my family did not go to college. I am book smart. I'm not street smart. I do open doors willy nilly without looking through peepholes. And I just had some very bad encounters this year that were started like that. But when I went back, I took a composition class and I went, I'm not a great writer. I understand grammatically, but I'm not good at like looking at a piece of paper and then putting words on it. And I thought I did really, really well. I was very proud of my final paper. I have a friend who has a master's in English. I asked them to proofread it for me. They gave me some feedback. I took that class. I studied as hard as I could. I really absorbed the material. I was very proud that like, okay, I'm not going to get an A. I'm going to ruin my GPA. It's going to be fine. I can deal with a 3.86 when I graduate. It's just a bit of a bummer because this was my last class before I graduated. And when I got my final paper back, I had a C because I did not capitalize the word internet in my paper, and instead of marking me 1 point, she marked it 1 point each time I used the word internet. I did not have an opportunity to correct the mistake that she arbitrarily decided was going to be a point off my grade every time. And I'm still really fucking mad about it. So, college is bullshit. Don't go do it.
Yeah, the only thing you can learn at college that you can't learn somewhere else is that there's nothing you can learn in college that you can't learn somewhere else.
Yep. And yet, jobs will pay you more if you have a degree still. So I'm
Yeah,
going back
it's
to
dumb.
school.
It's so
Yep.
dumb. So yeah, there's our educational therapy portion of the show. I will
Oh, I
just
feel
say I
better.
100%
Yeah.
agree with Michelle's sentiments in every plausible way. Do we
Except
want to
the
talk
word with.
spoilers now on the house with the clock in its walls?
Yeah, should I do a recap for people who
You
haven't seen this
probably
movie?
should, yeah. And then when that's
Yeah,
done, I mean, you know at this point, but I'm gonna ask you if you've ever seen this before and all the normal questions,
of
because
course.
I'm a formulaic basic bitch. Please, Michelle, summarize the movie for Jenna.
You're a formulaic basic bitch, but every time I intro the episode, you get so flustered and can't figure out the who's here with me. It's JD, it's JD, it's always
Because you've
JD.
interrupted the formula.
The formula is broken. God, we should not get into formulas. I'm very good at algebra. I'm very bad at chemistry. Okay,
When was the last
so
time, Michelle, that you tasted baby formula?
I don't know if I ever
We
have.
should probably just move on. Go ahead, summarize the plot.
Okay. I want that in a t-shirt. When's the last time you tasted baby formula? No context. That's our next We Watch Shitter merch. On a baby bib. When's the last? Okay. Anyway, thank God you didn't ask me when's the last time that you tasted breast milk. It could have gotten worse. Okay, so there's a
No, I don't want to
boy.
answer that question either.
Don't answer either of them. There's a boy. His name's Lewis. He has an uncle, because guess what? Lewis's parents, they're fucking dead. Is it a Disney movie? May as well be. His uncle is Jack Black. Holy shit, so jealous. Jack Black has a neighbor named Cate Blanchett, who he says he's not romantically involved with, but she's over every fucking day, and they have this really cute, like, back and forth, will they, won't they kind of thing. So like, how dare they not fulfill those wishes that we were all yearning for within 5 minutes of this film? Cate Blanchett and Jack Black, yes, please put me in that rom-com, if you will. Anyway, this is not a rom-com. It's a movie. And the movie, it's got a TikTok going on around the house because there's a clock in the walls. You might be thinking, it's not a great place to put a clock inside the walls. Can't even see the time, has no purpose except to TikTok. Well, we like ambient noises. We also like China stealing our information. So I am very pro TikTok. I'll fight you on it. I don't care. TikTok has convinced me that I need a pet raccoon. That is all the videos I'm getting this week. I am pro TikTok. And I'm also gonna get a raccoon. You know who's not gonna get a raccoon? Lewis, because he already has a pet. It's a topiary. It's a lion and it shits in the pool. It's actually it's such stupid toilet humor, but it made me laugh. So Lewis, he's kind of a nerdy little weirdo, and we love those on this show. He doesn't have many friends, and he tries to convince one of his non-friends to become a friend to really upgrade their relationship, because Lewis's uncle is a boy witch, aka a warlock, and
A
he's
boy
teaching him
witch.
some magic. A boy witch. And Lewis is going to show his non-friend that he should be his friend by summoning people from the dead. Not the direction I would go, Lewis, but you are a young child and you have much to learn. So he summons somebody, and their name is Isaac Izzard. And not a lizard, not a wizard, it's an izzard. And this guy
But not
comes
a
back.
not a Susie Izzard or not even a an Eddie Izzard. Just
Yes, I totally thought they said Eddie Izzard the first time I
eh,
heard the name, and I went, "That's a weird choice for a 2018 film. That's a taken name."
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So,
Anyway,
he decides to summon somebody. That person's name is Mr. Izzard, and Mr. Izzard, he has a Mrs. Izzard, played by Renee Elise Goldsberry. Holy shit! I just about lost my shit when she showed up. Just anything that woman does is magic. And I adore her. That's all you need to know. She was great, of course. And so the new undead wizard guy, warlock, boy witch, he is going to use his clock to go back in time and basically be like, well, if we're back in time, none of this happens and there can be no suffering. And you know what, if he could take away some of my suffering, that would be great, because the medication's not doing it as well as it should. So he's gonna go back in time, and I'm kind of rooting for him to do that. But then he gets thwarted because of magic. And Cate Blanchett, she has a dead daughter, and she uses the power of her grief in order to help. And then these three, they come together and magic shenanigans happen. The clock, it stops the tick-a-tocking. It's not going to go back in time. All of this was a waste. We're just stuck living. Time's an illusion. All of this is a simulation. Please wake up from the coma. Your family misses you. The House with the Clock on its walls. The end.
Wait, what? I, I did we watch the same movie? I didn't see a movie about all of this is an illusion.
Oh,
I'm
that's just because time's fake. That's all.
I'm Oh, so
That
that
was me
wasn't
going
like a
off on
part
my
of
own.
this movie. This was just
No,
you losing
that
your
was just
mind.
me. Yeah, that was all me.
Okay. Okay. Cuz you really fucking lost me there for a minute. I was like, "Wow, we took a left turn at Albuquerque and I have no
I
idea where we
lose
are at this
myself.
point." Holy shit, you lost me. That's
Eminem
for sure.
Eminem told me to lose myself, and I took that literally.
Yeah, vomit on your sweater already, mom's spaghetti.
Oh, I would go for some spaghetti right now.
I'm probably gonna make some fucking pasta as soon as we're done recording this shit. By
Can't
the way,
talk about
guys,
this.
it's
Oh,
it's July 15th as we record this. It's technology. We're definitely, you guys know we have an obsessive need to tell you. Anyway,
us obsessive needs? Never.
never us driving a bit into the ground well past the entertainment value of anybody but ourselves.
No.
Never.
We find it funny. That's all that matters.
You guys start paying for it. You can. No, you know what? Even if they started paying for it, they couldn't boss us around. I wouldn't allow it. That's probably why we'll never get paid for it. But I'm okay with that.
I'd let them boss me around and pay me $5.
Oh, okay. That's.
I'll be their little puppet.
I'm here to tell you, Michelle. That is a rather active and lucrative market that you could very easily get into. Is
Yeah,
finding
there's a reason
people
safe words exist.
who will pay you to let them scream and yell at you.
Oh yeah, that's my future. I'm going to college for it.
Michelle's gonna be a professional sub. Oh my god.
I wish that would be great if you could pay me for that. If somebody was like, clean my room and I'll pay you $300,
Maybe
best job.
the only time in the world that anybody has ever said, "I wish I could be a professional sub." Oh my god.
What is happening today?
I don't know. We're talking about
This is
the
what
House of the
happens when
Clock
we
and its
triple
walls.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah, the TikTok.
Yeah, this is the third episode we recorded today. I really did something we can definitely talk about. I really did enjoy the chemistry and interaction between Cate Blanchett and Jack Black here. I think Cate Blanchett is an actress who often is so well regarded and respected as a performer and has done all of these, award-winning, high-caliber performances that I think sometimes people might just never consider the idea of her being in a movie like this, and she kills it, right? She understands exactly what she's supposed to be, and she's perfect at it. She also is just eternally statuesquely beautiful Cate Blanchett, who you could shoot from any angle in a potato sack and she would be worth watching perform. I thought their chemistry was super, super good. I also love that, there is that dynamic of, it's very obvious that there's, a mutual sort of of bond or a attraction there. But I do love that it's not anything that's ever consummated in any way. They don't even have a smooch at any point. It's just like, nah, this is just who we are. I really enjoyed that element of this story quite a bit.
Me too. Kate Blanchett just seems like a delightful human, and I say that not knowing her personally. I know, surprising. I don't know Kate Blanchett. But I saw her do during COVID. Taika Waititi read James and the Giant Peach over
Hang on,
Zoom.
hang on. I would like to
Oh,
point out that out of context, what you just said is that you saw Kate Blanchett in 2020 during COVID do Taika Waititi.
well, that
And that tells you something about who I am as a person because I noticed that. Anyway, please continue.
well, we all know there should have been a period or a semicolon in between those sentences after all of our grammar discussion. I
I
just
only
don't
have a
pause in
semicolon. It was
between.
a childhood injury.
Anyway, Taika Waititi and friends read James and the Giant Peach, and Kate Blanchett showed up for her episode. And not only was she captivating, but her Zoom title, she lied about her name, and I can't remember who she went with, but instead of saying Kate Blanchett, her like little name said like I think Kate Bosworth or Kate Hudson or somebody, and I just think that's like a little itty bitty silly thing. And I think she seems delightful. She's especially delightful in this. I it's one of those where what do I even say? I had never seen this. You said you were going to ask me that. I had never seen this. Had you seen
I had
this?
not either. No, I was aware of it. Obviously, it was a high profile enough thing with the people involved that it was a movie that I knew existed, but I didn't know anything about it. And this is the first time I thought it was really well made. It's definitely something that's more whole family kind of maybe young teen oriented. Your Lemony Snickets and your Percy Jacksons kind of age groups, I think maybe is about appropriate here. But no, I had never seen this.
I didn't know anything about it and didn't even remember what the movie poster looked like. So over time, I convinced myself that this movie was Crimson Peak from 2015, which is like that gothic movie. And
That
so
where
when
the
we
whole
said we were
plot plays out like a seventh guest style video game.
I don't know that reference.
Oh well, we'll talk about it another time.
Okay, sounds good. But I thought this was gonna be like a gothic, a slightly horror adjacent, weird movie. And so then we picked it for the show, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm finally gonna watch that movie because I also haven't seen Crimson Peak. And if you had asked me anything about either of these movies, I would have given you the exact same answer because I thought they were the same. So then when I started watching this, I was like, this seems kind of full of whimsy. I was not expecting whimsy in this movie. And then there's a lot of whimsy. He has a magic 8 ball that he uses to talk to his dead mom. That's pretty whimsical for like a pretty dark thing. Jack Black is immediately kind of funny. When he like takes away the magic 8 ball and the kid's like, "No, my parents gave that to me right before they died." And he's like, "Oh my god." And then he makes a joke of like, "What you have in here? Encyclopedias?" And the kid's like, "They're dictionaries." And holy shit, I just realized that we are this child. I went off about the word with in the title. I want to know Lewis's opinion on whether with should be in the title. But he's also from the 50s, so he probably would agree that it should not be capitalized, and so I don't care about his fucking opinion anymore. Lewis, get off my back. So yes.
Jesus Christ!
I'm coming out swinging today. I'm a feisty little
I guess
jellyfish.
to be fair, I started it with my fuck APA Chicago manual style
Yeah, now I'm just
thing.
defensive. I'm a little porcupine. I got my quills all fluttered. Nobody better touch me or you're getting stabbed. uh, well, JD, what else do you have to say? What do you have to
First
say
of
for
all,
yourself?
I do want to say that at some point back there, you said that they had clearly read James and the Giant Peach, meaning like past tense of read. But what I heard slightly out of context was Red James and the Giant Peach, and now I want to see like a Soviet communist retelling of James and the Giant Peach, and it's just called Red James and the Giant Peach. I thought that. I guess I'm the only one. I don't know.
I
I
was trying to
thought
think
that
of a
would be
Russian
funny.
fruit, but I don't know what they have over there.
Red
Snowballs.
James and the Giant Peach. That would be fabulous. No, it's
Oh,
this was a great film. It was a lot of fun. I do like I don't I guess I would have to read the book maybe to have a little bit of context to see if that's the way it is in the book or not. I was very immediately struck by the fact that the only primary character in this film, or even really secondary character in the film, that is a person of color, is Renee Elise Goldsberry, and she is the villain, right? Like she's the ultra villain, like she's the baddie behind the baddie, right? And I don't know, maybe I'm just a little hypersensitive to these sorts of things these days, but I was just like, I don't know if that's necessarily a look you wanted to go with, but I can't complain about it too much. Did you feel anything awkward about that, or did you just not give a rat's patoot?
I did not notice that at all. To the point that I had to go look up what Lewis's girlfriend looked like because I just have like no concept of what people look like. I was like, I thought he had a little girlfriend who was black and he didn't.
Well,
So
she's
I
definitely
had zero.
I believe she's um uh I I'm trying to find out on the IMDb here. I believe also a person of color. I just don't want to assume specifically from where because I don't know. But I mean, like, really sort of primary forward characters. The main cast. You got Jack Black and Cate Blanchett and the boy whoever played him and Kyle MacLachlan and then the bad guy, the black lady, a woman and a black woman. Hey, look again. First of all, Renee Elise Goldsberry is not the kind of person I think who would get involved in something that she felt was really derogatory. So maybe I feel like maybe I'm just being hypersensitive about things because I'm Captain Woke. But I want to, Michelle.
I wish I was sensitive about anything.
I want to start a horror festival and just call it the Woke Horror Festival and just book all sorts of stuff that assholes would be like, oh, it's so woke. Just everything's woke bullshit. It'd just be called, just lean into it, right? Woke Horror Fest. I think that would be a lot of fun. Anyway, that's a total sidetrack from where we are here. I don't really have a whole lot more to say about The House with a Clock in Its Walls. It was a good time. I'll probably never watch it again, but if you got kids, you probably want to show it to them. It's all right. Jack Black's fabulous. Cate Blanchett's fabulous. Oh, that is one thing I wanted to say. I'm glad I've just been rambling. You said Cate Blanchett seems like a delightful person, did you not?
I don't remember. I think so. I
Like
think
she,
she seems like a cool person. I just don't remember the words I used.
and I always thought that too, but I saw a video a while back. Look, at this point, everybody knows JD likes loud, heavy metal guitar music. And there's this video of that British talk show where there's always videos of it, and there's the one guy, and the whole set is like orange,
Graham
and they're
Norton.
all, yeah, Graham Norton, that's the one. And Margot Robbie and Cate Blanchett were on there together, and Margot Robbie was telling a story about how she likes heavy metal music, including specifically she spent some time talking about the band Slipknot. And Cate Blanchett in this same video is very kind of snobby and shitty about like heavy metal music and heavy metal fans. Like really sort of like, oh, but it's just like a bunch of noise and such and all this just I was really kind of off put. I was like, no, Cate Blanchett, you are I like you. Don't make anyway. I just It was a real bummer, and because I became disillusioned in my outlook on Cate Blanchett, I had to disillusion you on your outlook as well. It's a whole, like, The Ring type scenario. I didn't want to be the only one. I don't know how we got here, probably because this is the third episode we've recorded today.
I'm just letting you go at this point because it's like a roller coaster where eventually you're going to end on a really high note. So kind of the opposite of a roller coaster now
All
that
of
I
my
think about
notes
it.
are really high, Michelle.
Yeah, I think we can tell.
See what I did there? I think that's how we should end it, frankly. I don't really have much more to say.
Perfect.
Do you?
No, I like this movie a lot. I will watch it again. I recommend that you watch it if you like family friendly horror. It's delightful. I thought it was very cute.
Also, if the
That's it.
idea of Cate Blanchett with a really tightly pulled back, like, school marm hairdo in always dressed in purple and perfect eye makeup sounds like a good time to you, then you should probably watch this movie.
I'm trying to think of
Michelle,
that
I'm not
as
like
how I would
like
define a good time.
Michelle. I need you to understand. Cate Blanchett is like a different kind of beautiful, right? This woman is fucking like statuesque is the only word that it's not even the right word, but anyway, I should probably stop now.
I do like any lady who towers over me because I am 5'2", and there's just something really nice about a tall lady. If you're like over 5'9", I love it. Bravo. My
I
friend
like
Peyton, who listens to the show, is like my tallest lady friend, and goddamn.
I like a lady with a real, like, professional school marmy appearance who scolds me and tells me to stop being a child. Anyway, say goodnight, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle.
For more horror content, visit WeWatchShutter.com, where you'll find our world-famous, patent-pending Ghoul blog and Squelch files, as well as a schedule of upcoming episodes. Find us on social media at WeWatchShutter on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I guess Twitter if you're still doing that for whatever reason. You can email us. mail@WeWatchShutter.com is the address. mail@WeWatchShutter.com. You can even call and leave us a voicemail, 701-566-9510. No, really. 701-566-9510. Give it a shot. See what happens. We Watch Shutter is a production of Rat Factory Media.